everybody, and welcome to the College Bowl edition of Proline. John Cranton, the college insider from Jim Feist Sports, is here. I'm Dave Cokin. We've got some great offers to tell you about and a couple of good bowl games to look at. West Virginia, Syracuse, which goes on Saturday, and the Monday matchup between Clemson and LSU. Before we do that, let's get started with a rundown on the offers. Actually, I'm going to do the College Bowl offer on this. Now, my college bowls are off to a tremendous start. Again, I've said this for years. I do radio every day on ESPN 1100 98.9 FM here in Las Vegas, and it's mainstream talk. There's some gambling, but it's a mainstream show. So it's like what you hear on Colin or Mike and Mike. Same subject matter. And from a fan standpoint, obviously the Bulls suck, okay? These are a bunch of exhibition games that mean absolutely nothing. The championship format is a joke. I still think it's going to be a joke even with the 4 teams. You want a real playoff, you have 8 or 16, then you got a real playoff and some real excitement. So from that standpoint, I can't stand the bowl set up the way it is. But I've always maintained that from a handicapping standpoint, it can't get any better than this. This is awesome. I don't ever want it to change. I want it to keep adding bowl games. I'd like to see all 124 FBS teams in a bowl game. I'd like to see a 62-game bowl game schedule because there are huge games, and it's not on every game, but there are some games where the motivational edge is absolutely huge, or there's just something that indicates that one team's going to play and the other team just doesn't give a damn. And you saw a great example of it on Christmas Eve. Fresno State is a lot better than SMU. But SMU murdered them in the game. It was no contest. Fresno was flat. The game just didn't excite them. It was a vacation. SMU obviously treated this as a much more serious game. Homecoming for June Jones. They were revved up. And that's why you get some really whacked-out results in bowl games from time to time. There's been a couple of others like that already. Anyway, my bowl package, if you signed up for it, you have already made a lot of money because I'm killing the Bulls. If you haven't, how about this? I'm going to get you a play, either a side or a total, on every remaining bowl game. There will be a play on every remaining bowl game, and your cost is $19. That's it. You like playing the Bulls and winning money? Make this call. 1-866-896-1629. $19, and you get a play on every single remaining bowl game. Now, Jim has one specific bowl game. This isn't just a play. This is a huge play, John. Games of the year have been real good for Jim. Well, last one, I guess, was the NFL game of the year, and that was the last time the Giants played a good game. They went out and just had a huge performance. Really easy winner. That was against the Saints, wasn't it?
Yeah, 52-28, they blew them out. And it's going to continue this Friday. I mean, Jim's been waiting the entire bowl season for the one circled game. Well, this is it, Friday's Jim Feist Bowl Game of the Year. It's $99 online. However, you can get it for $25 with a guarantee. You will win or get the rest of the bowls free on Jim. 1-866-841-1655. If you prefer college hoops, Jim has an offer for Saturday. Keep in mind, a 5-play countdown. You get 2 big college basketball plays plus 3 bowl games. 5 plays in all for Saturday with a guarantee. 4 and 1 or better, or the rest of football is free. That's a $19 offer. All of those, call 1-866-841-1655.
All right, let's look at some football. And we'll start with the West Virginia-Syracuse game where we're looking at the Mountaineers. About a 4-point favorite, the total 74. The game is in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. Cold, and there is a little possibility of some snow, but not about a 1 in 3 chance of some snow. Not much wind, according to the forecast, John, only 4 miles an hour. West Virginia, if you'd have told them in September, early October, you're going to be playing in the Pinstripe Bowl against Syracuse, I don't think they'd have been real pleased with that assessment.
No way.
But, they faded badly. Their defense stinks. And the offense, I won't say it got figured out, but it didn't dominate it like it did It didn't dominate like it did in the early portion of the season. Teams made some adjustments. And, well, you saw what happened. Geno Smith was a great quarterback, had a great year. He went from, at one time, actually the favorite for the Heisman to not even being in the picture at all. But he had a great year. Threw for over 4,000 yards. A TD interception ratio of 40-6. That's spectacular. And the team's averaging over 40 points a game. But the defense is allowing 38 points a game. They can't stop any offense. And they're going to face an offense that has really come on as the season has progressed. Syracuse, I think they've improved as much as anybody during the course of the season, and it shows up in their spread record. I beg your pardon, in their total record, because this was a team that early in the season you looked at them, well, they're going to have to grind out wins, play good defense, and win 20-17. They ended up going over the total 8-3-1. Ryan Nassib was playing really well at the end of the year. The team ends up 21st in the nation in passing, over 300 yards a game, 29.3 points per game, good rushing game, a little better than average. They're a good offensive team. And I think the defense is okay by Big East standards, but move it out of the Big East, I think you're going to find out the defense isn't that good either. I think this is going to be an insane game. And even at 74, I'd be inclined to look at the over in this game, John. I think this will be one of those games where last team with the ball probably wins.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. And if you like to play totals, be careful because we're looking at 34 degrees, not much wind, but 30% chance of snow. And the only comparable bowl like that was the Idaho Potato Bowl outdoors. That total was 60. It did go under. Utah State won 41-16 over Toledo, but that final score a little deceptive as it was 13-6 in the fourth quarter. Great Toledo offense, just 315 total yards. I'm going to look at a side in this game. You got the 6th rated passing attack in the country against the 21st. West Virginia, as you mentioned, so much talent on offense, but boy, so little talent on defense, 38.1 points per game. When you have a team that's this bad defensively, it's just tough to back them in the role of favorite. I mean, during that 5-game skid in midseason, they lost to TCU in double overtime, 39-38. They hung tough with a great Oklahoma team, but lost 50-49. And then the Syracuse passing offense, very much underrated. This kid, Ryan Nassib, 12th in the nation in passing, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And they've been playing great football. 5 of the last 6 games they've won, scoring 31 points or more in each of them. And the defense, much better than West Virginia. They give up 25.7 points per game. So you're talking about a team that gives up almost 2 touchdowns per game less. And so I'm going to be backing the team that's playing better football right now. That's Syracuse. They got the better defense. And they were in this bowl, the same bowl 2 years ago, in a pick'em game against Kansas State, and they won the game. So I'll back the relative home team here in the underdog Syracuse.
All right, we're going to look at the Monday matchup shortly. That's Clemson facing LSU. Before we do that, let's go to our man in the street, Jeff Saad from LVSS. He has a free pick on one of Sunday's NFL games. Jeff, it's all yours.
Thanks, Dave. A free NFL pick coming up. But first, you can get a basketball doubleheader for Saturday, including a game of the month and a rare NFL blockbuster on Sunday. And if you sign up today, you'll get college football bowl action through Monday, including tonight. All this just $5 from LVSS. Just call 1-866-575-8916. Your free game is the Bears at the Lions. This is a must-win for Chicago, but the Lions packed it in a long time ago. The Bears have a terrific defense, and they are 10-4-1 against the spread in the last 15 road games versus a team with a losing home record. The Lions are losing at home and away, and they're 0-5 in the division. The Lions are underachieving bunch of phonies. It makes me long for the standard of quality they exhibited when Matt Millen was hiring coaches Marinelli, Morningweg, and Mariucci to run the team. I guess he only hired guys whose names began with M. Well, they should have hired coaches whose names begin with L because the Lions have returned to the losing ways. The Lions are 3-9 against the spread in the last 12 games on field turf. Play the Bears. Once again, you get a basketball doubleheader on Saturday, including a game of the month, a rare NFL blockbuster on Sunday, and if you sign up today, you'll get college football bowl action through Monday, including tonight. All this just $5 from LVSS. Call 1-866-575-8916. Back to you, Dave.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Good luck again this weekend. Well, here we go. John, Monday, Clemson. I don't think their coach is going to have to remind them about what happened to their last bowl appearance. It was one of the more humiliating moments in Clemson football history. They got You give up 70 points in a game. It's a bad memory. The bad news for them is they're going up against one of the best teams in the country here in LSU. The number on this game right now, LSU 5, total 59. What do you got, John?
Well, for me, this game is going to be about defense. I mean, LSU, they're not a good offensive team. They're one-dimensional for starting. Great running game, but it's much easier to put together a defensive game plan when you're facing a team that's one-dimensional like this. And the reason is Zach Mettenberg. I mean, he was a transfer from Georgia, sat out last year, was expected to be the missing piece for Les Miles in what was going to be a balanced, potent offense because Miles loved to throw the football, but it just didn't happen. Mettenberg, 11 touchdowns, 6 picks. He was too often erratic. It's the ground game and Kenny Hilliard and Jeremy Hill that carries the load. But, of course, the defense, outstanding, 16.9 points per game. That's 11th in the nation, 2 years in a row now, a top dominant defensive team. And this Clemson team, a little bit of a public team because of the flashy offense. Chad Morris, the offensive coordinator, runs the no-huddle attack. And they are great with Taj Boyd and Andre Ellington, but his defense is not bad at all. 24.9 points per game. That's 47th in the nation. And both these teams played Auburn. This Clemson team did beat Auburn 26-19. LSU struggled a little bit in a 12-10 game. Both those games were very low scoring. The one game that Clemson had trouble with, gave up 49 points to Florida State, but this LSU offense is nothing at all as potent and balanced as Florida State. They also played South Carolina of the SEC. It was a defensive game, 27-17. So I look at this as more defense than the odds makers expect. Clemson is 6-2 under the total their last 8 bowl games, and when they play neutral site games, they're 7-3 under the total. So, Dave, that's the way that I'm going to look at this game.
Well, I don't think there's much question. Clemson has the better quarterback. Boyd's a terrific player. And he put points up on Florida State. A lot of them, in fact. Clemson had a big lead in that game, however, and they couldn't hold it. Florida State completely took over the game in the second half. And the problem for Clemson is that defense. It's just not very good. The good news for them is they don't face a dynamic offense here. So, I guess my take on this, and I don't want to give away too much on this because I actually like this game quite a bit, but if you think Clemson has huge motivation from last year, it's got to show up on the defensive side early. They have to come out and play good defense in this game because that's got to be what they're embarrassed about from last year with that West Virginia disaster. It was over 100 points scored in that game. Most of them were scored by West Virginia, the vast majority. And there was a point in the game where I thought West Virginia might get to 100 by themselves. So it's an oddball take, but I think Clemson's going to pull out the kitchen sink on defense in this game. And I do think they're going to play well for a little while defensively. I would look at an under the total first half play in this game. I think eventually, I don't know, we'll see. Once LSU figures them out, they might be able to keep figuring them out. And it's not like Mettenberger's a total stiff, all right? He's workmanlike. He's not fancy, but he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. If the floodgates get pushed open, all the water's going to come flying through, and there could be points in the second half of this game. But I think early on, there might be some merit to playing under. So I kind of agree with John. But I think the better bet actually is to go under in the first half because that's where I think maybe Clemson has a chance to at least play defense good for a while before they wear out like they've done in so many other games this year. That's it. Let's get to some best bets and recap the offers. This is a short edition of ProLine. We want to get you the information on these two games and hope you'll take advantage of the offers. Again, $19 is going to get you a play on every remaining bowl game, every single one. That works out to very little money. It's less than $1 a game. So there's just no reason to take advantage, not to take advantage of this, especially with my bowl record, which is once again looking great this season. Make the call, 1-866-896-1629, 1-866-896-1629. Best bet, one I just talked about. I think LSU Clemson under in the first half. Worth a shot. John?
Best bet would be LSU Clemson under for the entire game. And going under for the first half makes sense, too, because you don't get burned by overtime if that were to happen. Jim Feist steps up Friday with his bowl game of the year. It's $99 online. You can get it for $25 with a guarantee. You will win, or the rest of the bowl's free. And for Saturday, he has a 5-play countdown going. You get 2 college basketball games, 3 bowl games with a guarantee, 4-1 or better. That's a $19 Saturday offer. So both these offers from Jim Feist, 1-866-841-1655.
All right, take advantage of the offers, make some money. We'll be back at you after the NFL games are completed this weekend. We'll tape it Monday or Tuesday, and we'll have a little bit of a playoff scenario. Give you some ideas on that and recap the final week of the NFL as well. And then next week, more Pro Line. We'll have, are we going to do a playoff edition?
Oh, yeah. Right through
the
Super Bowl.
Plus, we'll have another College Bowl edition. So lots of viewing for you. Make sure and check it out. For John Cranton and Jim Feist, I'm Dave Cokin. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we will talk to you next week before New Year's. See ya.